professional hair care products here in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm excited because we're virtual and I get to reach people all across the world. And also, I am an author of three self published books, also, motivational speaker. And I also launched in 2019 under my parent company, Icon Enterprise. I launched a company where I can actually help people get their brands out. So I get excited because I love to see babies being born. What are babies for me? They're actually your dreams. Okay. So I'm excited. Uh, this topic today is so enlightening because I'm also the wife of Mr. Perry C. Brown, the mother of Perry Brown II. So battling business, God, family, business in that order. How do you get to the point where you actually become successful? How do you get to that point? This is how you get to that point by having the proper steps to focusing on your calling, your purpose, and your power. Did you know you had power? You do. So let's dive right on in and get excited. I love to get excited about your purpose because it means that you're not just that ordinary person slumming on the couch, hating on someone else that's doing something or just putting it off, procrastinating. You're different. So, how to attract the right people for success. Success is the subtitle. So, we're going to step into your calling. What is your calling? What does that mean? Your calling. As you see me now, I have a smile on my face and I'm loving life. And there are my products. It went from the thought in your mind all the way to the shelf. So Deserve is actually a product for people who are struggling with how to understand their textures, whether you're natural, you're chemical, but we also help a big audience of hair loss people. So that was the main thing. I thought that Deserve was just, I was going to sell some products. I've been in the business over 38 years as a salon professional behind the chair. And I just thought, oh, I'm going to sell some products. It's going to be, whatever. But I had to learn that there was a process of getting to it. And when I got to the purpose, I wasn't focused more so on the money as I was focused on the purpose. When you're helping someone grow their hair back, or a male or female is bald, or a man can't grow his beard, and you have the juice, you got the product. Oh my God, it is something else. So, how can you get into your purpose, your calling, and your power? Now you can get an empire surrounded by the things that you get, or a nonprofit. So, some of you may have nonprofits. So, stepping into it and attracting the right people for success. And we're going to dive into all of that. What are the steps that you should take first? First of all, pray for direction. If you step into your success, there is no prayer. Nobody, you're not calling on no God, no nothing. For me, it's only one God. Okay. So, but I'm talking to a lot of people. Who is your God? What you doing? And you're not praying. Praying is good. And when you're meditating and you're closing your eyes and you're asking for that intentional help and guidance because you don't know what to do. So now you need to pray for direct and listen. It doesn't mean when you get off your knees and dust yourself off, all the answers is going to pop up. You're going to be walking. What is walking? Walking is just living your life and walking and stepping and having discernment about what's going on. You're walking it, okay? So pray and listen, and that inner thought that keeps nudging you. I always say every time I step into a powerful move, like this is one of my products, the Deserve derma roller. I couldn't believe that. Okay, I'm launching products, but why in the world am I being? God is nudging me about a derma roller. Well, it helped my business because a lot of people do not get hair growth as fast as another person because the epidermis is on the outside, the dermis is sitting up under there, housing all the vitamins. And I had to get to where the vitamins were. So I had to remove some skin. So I was nudged by God because the products work faster with my tools. Okay. So I had to listen to your inner spirit. Okay, write down your goals. When you write down your goals, then you have a compass, you have something to follow. Write down your goals. Check your credit score. A lot of times we get disencouraged when we find out, ooh, I've been rocking these red bottoms and these outfits and these Jordans and all these things, and I have not focused on paying my bills on time. I haven't focused on writing down writing down my bills and when they're due. I haven't focused on that. So when you actually focus on your bills and your credit score, how much money you're saving, yes, yes, that plays a role because it lets people know out there you're serious. Okay, have a conversation with family. Now, the reason being is because you may have this big idea, but your family is used to you putting dinner on the table at 4:30, but you got a Zoom meeting at 4:30, okay? You need to have that conversation with them so they can start helping out with the chores. If you're a lady, a woman with a business, you need to have a conversation with your family. If you're a male, and your wife is used to you having date night on Friday, but you have a meeting. Oh, boo, you need to be concerned that I do have a meeting. I'm going to get with you. But right now, it's like I'm in my own university, sweetheart. I love you. Hugs and kisses, but daddy's got a meeting. And sometimes you have to have a conversation with your children to let them know maybe I can't be at your game. Oh, I want to so bad, but I have a meeting, or I have to be here, I have to be there. So if they're willing to sacrifice the time that you need to give them, you can keep it moving. Okay. Now, also, um, I want you to clean up all distractions. Sometimes you got that girlfriend or the guy friend is going to be calling you, or you have that mother or dad that's nagging you, come over here and cut the yard, son, or mama, can you take me to the doctor's office? Can you do this? Can you that? And you're like, hold up. Or you have the girlfriend who doesn't, she's not going out. She don't have a man. She don't have whatever. And she's used to you being like, her coach or her sidekick or something. Do something, but you have to say no. Or someone say, I need you to help me with my this or that. You have to have the no factor too. You got to know when to say no. Also, uh, build up your confidence and have the yes I can attitude. Guess what? I became my own cheerleader. My entire family, when I wanted to write my first book, ha ha ha, they laughed all over the place. Guess what? I laughed to the bank now while they sitting over there still laughing or their hair thinning out, falling out. I don't wish that on you. But when you thought it was funny, I had to keep it moving because they wasn't used to anybody being an author. They wasn't used to no one owning their business. They wasn't used to nobody developing a hair care line that's in stores. They weren't used to that. So everything that they thought they couldn't accomplish, they thought it was funny. But now it's not funny, is it? I don't think so. Now, also, having a yes I can attitude is don't worry when negativity comes. Don't worry about that. Negativity will come because it's a test. Pass the test. You'll have your down days. I promise you will. You have the days where you can't figure it out. I promise you will. But make sure it's not down months. Make sure it's down days, not months, and build up to that. God bless you for that one, because I'm hearing that in my spirit because I have to remind myself when I have down days, honey, guess what? You better get up. You better get up. You have a purpose. You have a dream. You have a goal, and the purpose is nothing nice when you accomplish the dream. When you get to the purpose and you helping people, oh, that's crazy. That means it's not about you. It's about so many other people, and that's when you're accomplished. Also, research and think outside the box. You need to kind of know where you're going. So you need to also think outside the box and research where you're going. Look who's done it before, but just keep researching, looking up things, taking notes, and also constantly thinking outside the box. How can you help people? How can what you're doing do this? Or how many, whatever you can do that's in your business, whatever, just keep researching it, manifesting it, and just keep growing it. Things may happen, but keep growing it and keep thinking outside the box. Please do not let go, whatever. And also, let's talk about being patient and overthinking and being anxious can cause you to lose money so fast. Oh my God. I mean, when I say can cause you to lose money so fast, it will cause you to lose money uh so fast that you won't even be able to, see straight. So you want to not um be in a position where you are, constantly spending money. And someone says, I'll give you an example. I had people that said, I can build a website for you, Angela. And I said, oh, that's that's in my budget. But it wasn't the people that could actually build the website. See, I need a website e-commerce and a website manager because I sell products. So I need a manager, but I also need the e-commerce. So you get people that build a website, and when it's time, my bottles has to be measured, weighed. I'm sorry, weighed, and that you have to know when it goes over the shipping how much this product weighs. So when I do ship it, I can see how it's going to go. So you got to know how to uh, be able to balance out what you need. And I paid people because they were cheap. I paid people because they were reasonable. I paid people because such and such introduced me to them and said they were good. And I didn't research anything. I didn't, I just said okay, and they did it. They got paid. I ended up with almost like 4 websites. I kept spending money on websites because I had to keep hiring people. Where did my time and money go? Sometimes you're just losing money because maybe you didn't get something filed on time. Maybe you were being anxious over here when you needed to be focused over here. You need to make sure that you are focused. Now, this is a good book that I like right here. It's called Everyday Amazing Mindset. And I like this because it allows you to take a journal, write down your stuff, and be able to be focused on what you're doing and how you're getting it done. Now, you have to have a plan of action, not a guess. Focus and sacrifice. You can't live like you are making millions before it's time. Think bold, but in the natural, keep the course. Set goals that you know you can reach, and each quarter, make the goals higher and higher. Remember, the day you plant the seed is not the day that you eat the fruit. So sometimes people start seeing a little money. I love my niece. I love her to death. But when she started seeing money, she started changing her attitude. She started getting a little arrogant. And I had to pull a coattail. I said, sweetie, just because you have a good product doesn't mean that people want to buy from you. Okay. If your attitude is not right. And she saw a little money and then she started spending a little money. It's like, put back into your business. She did everything I asked her to do. But sometimes people don't listen. They become anxious. They want to be everywhere before it's time. They don't do their research. Am I supposed to be here? Am I supposed to be there? Is this the right season? I also do the research if you're doing trade shows. Make sure the trade show that you're at is this trade show that's relevant to your business. So being too anxious can cause you a lot of money. Being too anxious. Be patient. Make sure you're where you should be and grow your business each time. Do not get comfortable. Just keep going and going. Make sure you put back into your business and don't get out there and just start spending money because you like, oh, well, I made like 20,000 this month. I made 30,000 or 50,000 this month. It'll keep rolling in. Guess what? COVID-19 taught a lot of people they should have been patient. Also, dive into what you really want. I saw myself with a successful hair care line, selling across the world. Now I do. So how does this looks for you? See it, believe it, and accomplish it one goal at a time. Live in the supernatural. I love to say that because you got to see it. You have to believe it. You have to be in the supernatural. In the natural, you're broke, you don't have no money, you don't have investors, you don't have a lot of inventory and things like that. In the supernatural, you're a billionaire, you're a trillionaire, you're a millionaire, you got inventory, you have manufacturers, you are on television, honey, your book is published, everything is working in the supernatural. That's what God is in the supernatural. You have to live there because it gives you hope. Supernatural gives you hope. Natural is like watching the news every day. Jenny got shot. Everybody got shot. Everybody lost. It's a lot of negativity. So a lot of times I go to the supernatural. That's where I win. Also, how to live in the supernatural. How do you live in the supernatural? Let me tell you this. Ignoring the negative thoughts, not focusing on what your bank account says, seeing yourself in that car, that yacht, that business, that home, etc., etc. Okay? Seeing yourself with a huge team, employees, making money, grants, certifications, contracts, and all of those things. In the supernatural, it doesn't matter. God one day told me, I need you to see yourself in two big retail chains and the contracts that you'll get. He said, it's the supernatural. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's the supernatural. Write it down and put it in your prayer room. But it's the supernatural. So in the supernatural, we can bring the supernatural to the natural just by knowing if you think it, you can achieve it. Just keep thinking. Don't let anyone get in your way from that. Also, don't get comfortable. Okay? Do not get comfortable. Keep networking. Getting comfortable can set you back for opportunities that could have been yours. Also, let go of your fears and keep moving in a positive direction. Keep reaching. Walk by faith and not by sight. Do not get comfortable. Keep moving. Keep focusing on the end goal. Grow your brand by looking at what the next move looks like. Now, I'm telling you a little tip I do. Get with your competitors. See what they doing. Just be that little mouse, like they the cheese, and keep focusing after them. Like, oh, one time I had one of my competitors, and she was on Yelp, Bing, Google, and all that. And I was like, you know what? I gotta type mine in, and it'll show up. I said, but how does she just come up? And then I contacted a company that I guess she goes through, and now I'm in the Google search. Also, feeling lost, then meditate and pray. Too many opinions can cause you to lose sight of things. Keep marching and researching what the next move looks like. Now, let's find purpose in everything that you're doing. Honey, you gotta pray. I don't care what nobody say. You have got to pray. You gotta meditate. Because see, if you don't meditate with the prayer, guess what happens? You're gonna pray and then you're gonna get up and then nothing happened, but you didn't get no direction from the Holy Spirit. So you weren't reading your Bible, you weren't focusing, you weren't doing nothing. You were just like, okay, I prayed, I asked him for what I want, but you got to build a relationship with God, you guys. A lot of people on these platforms won't talk about that kind of stuff, but that's how I'm getting it done. That's how I'm getting where I'm going, because I have to build that relationship, not to give, to get, but to get to know that I thought at one time God just didn't want me to have stuff. I thought he didn't want me to be naked and homeless, but he didn't want me to be a winner. I didn't know until I got to know the beauty of God. So when I started praying and meditating, oh my God, doors were opening, and they didn't always just fly open. It took time, because when you trust God, you'll trust the process without being a little nosy about what he's doing. That's all I got to say about that. Okay, now breathe and see your purpose, honey. All right, your day is pregnant with possibility and your destiny. Did you know when you have a dream, you pregnant? You got trimesters and stuff like that. You pregnant and you got to birth it, okay? You are tapping into an amazing experience. God has his hand on your business. Yes, he does, babies. He has your hand on your business. So go with it. Walk by faith, get in the know. So you may have to get certified, join associations and find trade shows, get to know your customers and how they think. So if you sell me this product and I tell you I need it for such and such, it's got to be what I need. But also, you need to know my mood swings, like when I run out, when I need more, when this, when that, and why did I purchase it? What city and state I'm from, and who's in my demographics. You know, you got to dive into those possibilities. Who are your customers? But also, when we talk about breathe and see your purpose, the day I started helping people grow their hair, I was taking my focus off of me, and that focus that was off on me and making money and how I'm going to get funding and how I'm going to get this and how I'm going to stay in business. When I started taking people that was naked, bald head, I'm talking about as bald as my arm, and started giving them hair as full as my head, that did something for me. Because when you don't have hair on your head and you want it, you don't have any your self-confidence is low, your self-esteem rather, and you have, I mean, sometimes you might not want to date, or everybody don't want to wear a wig. You got a lot of fire hair, a lot of weaves out here, but guess what? Some people are forced into it, and some people think they Beyonce. Okay, but everybody don't want to wear a wig. And when I focus into my purpose, I had a woman crying on my bosom and said, thank God for you and deserve. Thank God you are helping people, baby. 80-year-old women, all the way down to 19-year-old girls that was telling me that God sent you to me. I had people 40 and 50 and said, you, I prayed for you, baby. And I've had people who generally meant, I'm praying for your business. I'm praying for your business. You got some. You got some. Okay, now I'm in my purpose. Okay. Oh my God, what I'm going to do with this? I got to have a treatment center. I got one. Okay. So I'm in my purpose. And I want you to be in your purpose and write down what makes you, without getting any money, what makes you feel good about your business. What is it? How are you you're adding to this planet? Think about that purpose, because you can turn your profit business and you can also do a nonprofit, but be in your purpose. Give this planet something amazing that they have never seen. The world is yours. Know your purpose. When you're walking and you're talking, clean up your conversations, clean up what you watch on television, move into your purpose, and just get your world focused on positivity, helping people, and everything will come to you. And you will attract the right people because they can trust you, because they see you are all about your business. Okay. Now that the world is yours, what's next? What you got? The world is yours. What's next? It is your purpose that you should be in. But okay, it is time for you to actually grow your business. Keep growing your business and growing your business. Now, you may have to get certifications. I thought at first that I could grow this business and network with people from time to time. My business needed to grow because I'm a supplier. So I had to understand who I was. Being a supplier means that I'm able to supply and meet the demands of people all over the world. And so I had to understand who I was. And so that means associations. certifications because you're trying to get, so you're trying to attract so many people and you're trying to get contracts. So I had to know that it could be done. I made so many mistakes, you guys. I'm telling you I did. I didn't know what I was doing, but I refused. I told people during COVID, I said, I may not know how to swim, but I won't drown. I may not know how to swim, but I will not drown. And I love this quote here: the day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. And the reason why I love this is because a lot of times we're impatient. We want it like yesterday. And I made the horrible mistake of watching a neighbor, which was a competitor. They launched in 2016, and I'm like, Lord Jesus, what happened to me? I mean, she got it fast. What, I was looking for the same success at the same time that she had gotten it. But God had bigger plans for me. He had bigger things for me. And he had to work with transforming myself. And I had to flow into that. And I just says, I love to say you can do this. All things are possible with God. I love to say that. And here's my contact information. I'm Angela H. Brown, and you can reach me at 877-833-5877, extension 2 at deservehealthyhair.com. But I have a few more minutes, and what I want to say to you, um, and I'm just going to stop this screen. But what I'd like to say to you is that you are your own cheerleader. You cheer for yourself and get into your purpose. Not focusing on money would definitely help you. It'll help you through the whole journey that you're going through. Not focusing on uh, how much money did I bring in this month, and you have to do the numbers, okay? You have to do that. But I want you to focus on helping someone else. And how does that look? How does that look like for me, helping someone else? Bringing someone joy in what you have. That's so amazing for me. Um, when I was worried about money, I was so worried. But when I stopped focusing on money, I started focusing on people and how to help people. Oh my God, so much reward out of that. And when I was in a point of my business where I was able to give back, to give, you know, money back or be able to help people, that was exciting for me. I was like, oh my God, am I writing this check in that amount when I'm able to help someone? That feels good and rewarding. Sell yourself to others with, when I say having, with integrity. Sell yourself to others. Be trustworthy of what you say you do. Do what you say you do and walk and talk it. Sometimes you'll get it wrong. Don't beat yourself. God told me that one day the Holy Spirit was like, you beat yourself up too much and you beat yourself up. You got a mission. He takes us wonderfully made, baby. If he took me, he'll take you. I mean, it don't matter what you do. When you are chosen to have your business, when you are chosen to be successful and to build an enterprise, you don't worry about that you're imperfect because you are already perfect. And through just trials and tribulations, you will keep becoming more perfect. So focus on who you are, but focus on the business and be a listener. It's biblical. Be quick to listen and slow to speak. So that's what I had to learn in so many different ways. Not being anxious, stop procrastinating, and listen and get you some mentors who you think will be great for giving advice for your business. You need six. And the reason why I'm saying six is because I need people in logistics, manufacturing, retail, and just people who thrive in business and it's success. They're successful. So people that you respect and level up. I don't call my mentors all the time until it's time to tell them something amazing. They're not my friends. They're just my mentors. So they're not looking for me to be a pest. They're looking for me to win, and what they're telling me will help. Just remember, my friends, just focus. Focus on your business. Pray, meditate, write your goals down, dust yourself off, and keep moving forward. Also, I'm going to tell you this, you also have to know when to hire people, fire people. When your business is failing, look at your team. Look who's on your team. Now, you can't fire yourself, so you might be the problem. I don't know that. But you need to look at yourself and start making changes. You also need to look at your team and see if your team is the right fit. I've had to let people go. And when people are ready to leave your company, do this, let them go, because they have run their course with you. And you also have to know when to hire people, because sometimes we want all the money, and maybe you've accomplished 250,000 or 300,000 or 500. I don't know what you accomplished, but if you want to get to the millions, you got to know when to add that expert, that person that can do it. Ask for their resumes, ask for what you need to ask for, and and get to know that person, and keep in mind, if that person's not willing to share and to, to tell you some things about them or show you some things, then don't trust it. Go with your gut. Keep looking. Keep looking. And also set your budgets. Set your budgets. What you can afford, you can afford. I have a personal assistant now, and she was like, well, I need some more money and need this and need that. If it's in the budget, you can have it. I love to give bonuses and raises, but so don't let people run your business. Okay. So I thank you for listening to me. My name is Angela H. Brown. I'm excited. I want you to be a winner, and you can just reach out to me, deservehealthyhair.com, and I will be here for you, because you are a winner and you have a purpose and a goal.
Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me here in this amazing workshop. I am actually recording this from the Dominican Republic. Can you get in the driver's seat of your health and truly live the life that you deserve? So put on your seatbelt and let's get ready to go. Well, the title of this workshop, Success, Health, and Great Wealth, the life you deserve. Believe me when I say health is wealth. Without it, nothing else matters. So here are the objectives. So we're going to go through these, and I'm going to tell you right now that is so much to unpack. It is almost impossible for us to get done in one session, right? So you're going to get opportunities to join me in further workshops and deep dives and personal health assessments and all this other stuff I'm going to talk about later. But what I really want to focus on is bringing alignment into your spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical health. We're going to explain why we are where we are, of course. There are some tests, so don't get scared. Really easy, I think, but it's going to teach you a lot, and then learn what we can actually do about it to get, again, in the driver's seat of our health. And I'm going to provide you with some practical, applicable tools, and then I'm going to give you a challenge. So my first question to you is, how are you taking care of you? This is just a simple, basic steps right here. Okay, and we're going to talk about 7 steps that I promised in the talk that you decided to join me here from. And it was about, how are you eating real food, exercising, drinking water? How much have you drank, right? Sleeping. How many of you really slept 7 to 8 hours just last night? Think about that. Do you believe that 75% of all chronic disease is truly preventable? And I love Dr. Bill Sears. He's the pediatric doctor of America, world renowned. I know him personally, and he knows that food is medicine and that we can take control of our health once we get the knowledge, education, getting a great community of people, and have fun doing so. So here's my story. You heard it a little bit from the talk, and I'm going to tell it to you again here for those who might have missed that talk. But this really is a true story of an officer and a gentleman. And I am the CEO and founder of Premier Health and Wellness Consulting. And this company was birthed because of this story. I was in the Army, as you can tell. That was my women's, month, parachute jumping out of really perfectly good airplanes, running 4 or 5 miles a day, thought I was Bionic Woman. And again, for my younger people, that's Wonder Woman. And it was chronic fatigue that set in. I could not shake it, back and forth to the doctors running tests, and they couldn't figure it out what was wrong. So fast forward my story. I had some amazing neighbors who loved on us, educated us about the power of whole food, plant-based nutrition. So when they came back with a diagnosis, after half my face went numb, half my taste sensories disappeared, and I couldn't lift anything with the right hand, they had to believe me something was wrong. And those tests proved an autoimmune disease. Well, that was pretty much life-altering, career-ending. And I really didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I will tell you that Plan ABC was the military. I had a very successful career, but God always has other plans. And I will tell you, trust the journey, trust the journey. And what my neighbor shared with us that day about the power of whole food, plant-based nutrition made sense to us. We knew our bodies needed more nutrition to fight what was going on. My husband was also diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, and we just didn't know any better, just thinking disease, disability doctors would be our rite of passage. But that is not the end of the story. 16 years later, medicine-free, both of us, in control of our health. I like to brag, fabulous 50, feeling good, looking good, making money, and having fun. And I want that for you, okay? So I am a corporate health counselor, and basically counselors are trained to come alongside you and help you with your personal, social, and psychological performance, okay? Corporate counseling is really that professional relationship that's going to empower not just the individual, but then the corporation as a whole through that education and career goals, planning, and that holistic approach to health. And so the 2 major focuses that come up all the time is, of course, your belief system and nutrition, which are critical to optimal, premier outcomes. I know a lot of people might still believe counseling is taboo, and it is so not. So really, I want you to dive deeper into finding the right counselor for you. And if you don't like that person, that's okay. Find someone who's going to resonate with you so that you can get through some of the issues or blocks that might be impeding your progress to get further along on this path of success. So this is just a few benefits of counseling. As you can see, again, we come alongside you to help you reach your goals and truly to live the life that you deserve. So I want you to have a paradigm shift here, okay? And I love Dr. Pam Popper, Wellness Form Health out of Ohio. And I love reading this slide. I know they say don't read slides, but you have to hear it and see it because it is so powerful. She says, we believe that it is a fundamental right of all consumers to have a complete analysis of the risk and benefits of any test, drug, supplement, procedure, or medical practice of any type before making a decision to proceed. This is currently not the way medicine is practiced, and we are truly on a mission to change that. And I hope you're going to join that mission with us. So, why are we so unhealthy? Here is how we got to where we are today. Do you understand that 1 in 4 people will die of heart disease? 1 in 2 women and 1 in 3 men will develop cancer. 1 in 3 will have diabetes by 2050. That's not really that long away from here. And 1 in 5 children is obese. Dr. Katz from Yale University is saying that our children are more harmed by a poor diet than alcohol, drugs, tobacco combined. And that should be alarming. You heard some of that from my talk if you were able to listen to that talk. We know that environmental toxins are increasing, and that some of that stuff we can't even control. The over-the-counter drugs that we're taking is damaging our bodies. The skin and hair care products that we use are sometimes detrimental. The water contamination from all of the pollutants in the air, the chemicals running through the water systems, it's a lot, okay? It's a lot. And then our food quality is decreasing. More than 50% of what we as Americans eat is processed. And that really is not a good health outcome. If you understand how the shipping process goes to get our fruits and vegetables to us, broccoli could lose up to 50 to 80% of the key nutrients before it's even purchased by you. So there's hormones, pesticides, herbicides. The food is just definitely less nutritional. Artificial colors, trans fat, all those things which are totally degrading our quality of health and life. So here's just 2 definitions I really want to touch on, and I'm not going to go into detail with this. We can go into detail in further workshops with these major issues. Right now, of course, the world has changed on how we're going to work and how we conduct ourselves at work, right? So absenteeism, of course, everybody understands that that is calling in to work sick because either you're sick, a child sick, somebody, a family member sick, neighbors sick, or somebody that you have taken care of, right? Or yourself. But presenteeism is the one that most people are now more aware of course, but that is employees who come to work sick. Yeah, so they're still operating at a degraded quality of performance at work, but it's very likely that they are contagious and spreading those germs to the others in the office. Now, of course, we're teleworking a lot now, so that has shifted things, but this does not change the same thing at home, whether you're at home, not feeling well, working at a reduced productivity, or you just decide you're not going to work that day. So what can we do to be healthier? Okay. These are the basics. You really should know these, right? And most of us really do. But the question then is, are we actually implementing it? So we hear these things. So we hear it in the Bible a lot. Be hearers, be doers, and not hearers of the word, right? So we know we're supposed to exercise, get that rest, and rest has really moved up my priority list because now they're linking that to lack of rest, Alzheimer's, dementia. That's really serious. Managing our stress. And I did not believe this before, but do you know stress can really kill? It literally chemically alters our body to stop receptors from doing what they're supposed to do to keep us alive. That's really serious. Water, we'll talk about that. My magical mystical drug. You'll hear me say that again. Absolutely trying to use safer products as best as you can, clean, go green, and then absolutely eating real food. So here's the current healthcare system and where we are in this pendulum. And again, this workshop is for you to get the baseline of the education so that, again, you can get in the driver's seat of your health and then start being informed to make the decisions that's going to best suit you. We all have come upon most of these on this list. And I will be honest with you. Both patients and practitioners are frustrated and very unhappy. I had no idea what this healthcare system was like until this last year, uncovering so much. I think my next calling is going to be patient advocacy, seriously. Oh my goodness. But it's just a very difficult system to traverse, especially if you don't have the right resources. And, addressing these issues. So the question becomes, what do we do? Well, please be mindful to get objective information. Stop following the hypes, okay? Stop chasing all the get rich quick, the get skinny quick, the get healthy quick. It does not work. Have a clear understanding of all the risks and benefits of anything that you choose to do. The one example, the best example I could use is the diets. You really should, it's incumbent upon you to take a deeper dive to understand the risk benefits involved in a lot of those diets. I don't believe in diets. And then stay in a driver's seat to have the freedom to choose the best option that's going to make sure that you have a healthy, long life, and that it's a collaborative approach between you and your practitioners. So Dr. Popper, again, I'm quoting her about informed consent, that taking control of your health is not doing what I say or what she says, right? Instead of what others are saying. It's doing what you think is best for you after you've reviewed the objective information. And again, it's so mindful that you take some time to do the research. And I've done a lot of that for you. So go to your trusted sources that are not following the hype. Okay, so here's the test. I love this part of the workshop, right? Because this is mind-blowing for a lot of people all the time. So I'm going to ask you a few questions and I'm going to ask you true or false. And I just want you to answer true, false, and maybe you say, I don't know. First question, eating olive oil promotes better health. Is that true or false? Well, if you said false, you're correct. Oil is concentrated fat, okay, and a lot of calories. Can you imagine 1 tablespoon contains 130 calories and 14 grams of fat? That is a lot to sit down and eat. And most people are not just doing 1 tablespoon. Did you know that oil contributes to weight gain, the development of arteriosclerotic plaque, and coronary artery disease? This is very serious. Question 2. PSA testing and mammograms reduce your risk of dying of prostate and breast cancer. Is that true or false? If you answered false, you're correct. There's a Cochrane review that showed to save 1 life, 2,000 women would have to be screened for 10 years. 10 women would endure unnecessarily and potentially life-threatening overdiagnosis and overtreatment. They concluded, and I quote, there's no reliable evidence from large randomized trials to support screening mammography at any age. Again, we go deeper in further workshops so that you really can get the resources and tools you need to empower yourself. So we actually met Dr. Richard Ablin. He, according to researchers, and he's the guy who discovered the prostate-specific antigen, the PSA, that men test for prostate cancer. Then he says that there's a false positive rate of 78%, that the Gleason score is meaningless, and most men who are treated for prostate cancer do not even have it. So you could have a Gleason score of 2 and might have cancer, 200 might not have cancer. Get that book, The Great Prostate Hoax. It is such a powerful resource and tool for you to just get in the driver's seat, educate yourself, to be able to ask your practitioners the right questions. The U.S. Preventative Service Task Force recommends against PSA screening for men of all ages. So you should be asking yourself the question, what is that about? So next question, losing bone mineral density is a normal sign of aging. Is that true or false? If you answered true, you're correct. All humans lose bone mineral density as they age. Yes, we do. God in his infinite wisdom gave us everything we needed at birth. We either mess that up and slow it down, or we age gracefully. Women have a very high peak bone density to support pregnancy and breastfeeding, of course. And then, of course, they lose bone mineral density more rapidly than men in their later ages. Next question. Is it a good idea to have your vitamin D levels tested every year because vitamin D levels cause disease? Is that true or false? If you answered false, you are correct. Normal vitamin D levels are anywhere between, and I would say really anything over 30 now is healthy, okay? And you don't really need to be panicking over that. Ideally, we want you to go outside in the sun and get the natural vitamin D. In the summer, that's the best time to get it in most places, because God in his infinite wisdom knew that in those winter months or those gray days where we couldn't get the sun, if we stored enough, because it is storable, fat soluble storable in our bodies, to sustain us through that season. Isn't it amazing how that works? So understand that low vitamin D levels do not cause disease, okay? It's just they're a result of disease. That's what happens. You have a disease and maybe your vitamin D is going low. So get to the core of the issue. And then vitamin D supplements, a lot of times, you're not even taking the right D2 or D3. Wait, which one are you supposed to take? We go deeper and deeper in workshops to really have you understand this. Next question, and I know these a lot, and hopefully I don't know where you are on the pendulum, if you get them all right or you got them all wrong. Hopefully you're getting some right. Bypass surgery does not reduce the risk of heart attack most of the time. True or false? That is actually true. So if you answered true, you're correct. About 500,000 bypass surgeries are performed in the US each year. It does not benefit most patients because coronary artery disease is systemic, and the procedure does not actually address the problem. I mean, so we go open up the arteries and you clog them back up because you continue to eat the fatty artery clogging foods that cause you to have the coronary artery disease. So keep doing that, then just be grateful you're still alive if you've already had one. But studies show that bypass patients do not fare better than patients who just take the drug. So if you were given that opportunity, and hopefully you were, and there's more than just those two, surgery or drugs, right? Lifestyle change is the third that we really need to be focusing on. All right, next question. Taking a daily aspirin can reduce your risk of heart attack or stroke. True or false? I know what we've been told. And I'm thinking you probably know this answer now that you've been through all these questions. The answer is false. So if you answered false, you're correct. Patients with risk factors, including high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol, absolutely do not benefit from taking a low dose of daily aspirin for the primary prevention of cardiovascular events, okay? Taking aspirin actually can increase the risk of major bleeding events. And that's really not what you want to do long term. And I'll tell you, all these drugs have long-term lasting effects. Keep that in mind, please. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and misinformation is the best way to keep people in fear and keep people misinformed, really. So we're just bombarded every day with misinformation about diet and health, often due to financial conflicts of interest, which you should dive deeper into who's saying what and why are they saying it. But the government spews out stuff, health professionals and organizations, disease groups and media, food, drug, device makers, well-meaning but misinformed health professionals. Yes, happens all the time. So please be mindful of who you're listening to and what information you're passing on. I love Dr. David Barker. He says, and it's interesting perspective, while patients are grateful for new drugs and operations, what they really want is not to be patients at all. In this, we are failing them. So I love talking about dehydration. If you ever, called my cell phone, you'd hear my very long voice message, but it's a message to make you think, okay? And we talk about this dehydration, but look at what dehydration can actually cause. Believe it or not drinking enough water, constipation, headaches, food cravings, water retention. Not drinking enough water, you're going to retain water. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Flu-like symptoms, lack of energy, depression, weight gain, and there's so much more. But I love the healing power of water. And we're around a lot of beautiful water right now. But what does water do for us? Okay. It carries nutrients and oxygen to every cell in our body. It controls the temperature of our body, cleans our stomach, and it helps our digestion, cleans our intestines, improves absorption of the nutrients, removes toxins from our bodies, lubricates and cushions our joints, provides valuable electrolytes. I tell people all that extra, sports drinks that you want to drink, there's no need for that. Drink more water. Water has its own natural elements, calcium, magnesium, potassium, sodium, and chloride already in there. Now sugar, the nemesis. Look at that. It's white. It's a powder. Sounds like a drug. And it is. It's a legalized drug. Can you believe that each year a typical American is going to eat 756 donuts? I love this slide. 60 pounds of cake and cookies, 23 gallons of ice cream, 7 pounds of potato chips, 22 pounds of candy, 200 sticks of gum. I used to be very guilty on that one. 365 servings of soda. That's a soda a day. 90 pounds of fat, and a 5-pound bag of sugar a week. And it's really easy to look at that. I have a very visual presentation, usually when I go to schools or I'm doing events, that shows the packages of sugar that's like in a Coke bottle or a soda bottle or a juice bottle. And it's usually mind-blowing for parents. Oh, so you remember in the talk I told you I would tell you the age of the cheeseburger, fries, and donuts, right? So believe it or not, yes, that cheeseburger and fries is actually 14 and a half years old. And the donuts, 8 years old. And again, I'm going to say the rats and roaches won't touch it. It won't grow mold or spores. So what do you think it's doing to your body? So you really are what you eat. You can look like that or you can look like that. The choice is up to you. So now let me ask this question. Did you learn anything new? I'm thinking and hoping that you have. And so then the question becomes, why doesn't everyone know about these issues? So let's do some practical application. Let's apply what we are learning today. So here are my 7 steps that I promised you, and no random order really, but I just want to go down, and I'm not going to get into detail because again, we really unpack a lot of these in further workshops. A real relationship with God is not about religion. The power of the mind, positive mental attitude, key and critical. Forgive is an entire workshop, okay? Because of course you've heard forgiveness is not for the person you're giving it to, it's actually for you. Meditation, I think that's becoming more popular in mainstream, and you understand the importance of quieting your mind. Deep breathing, again, another popular mainstream one coming up and so critical. Of course, I like the 4-6-8. And again, we go into details in other workshops about that breathing, but 4-6-8. Exercise and rest, critical. And then real nutrition and nature and gardening. Again, just putting these things into perspective is going to help you take control of your health and start living the life that you truly deserve. So what does that look like? One, you have to get your spiritual world in order. There's no way around that one. I don't care what you believe in, you have to get your spiritual world in order. Okay, spend more quality time with your family and friends. Hopefully last year really woke us up to that. You have to improve your self-confidence with positive self-talk. Be mindful of what you put out in the atmosphere, in the universe. The idiot box is what I call the television. How about you start reading more books? do puzzles, start exercising more, reading books. And then my dad, I love how he said this and taught us this at a younger age. If people don't add 3 things to your statue, you don't need them in your life. And of course, vice versa. You should be adding at least 3 positive things to people's lives as they come in and out of your life. And then we want you to drink, of course, more water, eat more fruits and vegetables, get outside and garden. I love this book. Write this book down, The 4 Agreements by Mcguire Ruiz. Powerful. It's on my dream board, actually. And here are his 4 agreements. Be impeccable with your word. Do not take anything personally. Don't make assumptions, and always do your best. You read this book, it's life transforming. Again, we go into details more in other workshops. And then exercise. So if I were to ask you, what's the best exercise? What would you tell me? The best exercise is, well, I'm going to probably tell you you're right, because the best exercise is going to be the one you will actually do. If I tell you that running or swimming is the best exercise, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want to go mess up my beautiful hair all the time, although that water is gorgeous. But I would probably prefer to go walking. So we want you to do just that. Move your body. You don't use it, you're going to lose it. Believe that. But here are just 20 benefits of why exercise is so important. Do you understand that you can actually lower your blood pressure by just exercising? It actually reduces cancer risk. Who would have known? I think it really is amazing that in our society, people actually take better care of their cars and pets than they do themselves. You know, remember the analogy that I shared with you in the talk about, using the car as the analogy of your body? The crazy thing is, people would actually really make sure their car is taken care of before they're actually taking care of their own human form. That's not what we should be doing. So I want you to get into that driver's seat on how not to be a patient, right? It's about being proactive and intentional rather than reactive and episodic. So what does that mean? Well, being reactive and episodic means you wait until you're sick. You remember the car analogy, you just keep chugging along until it totally breaks down or you can't get out of the bed. And you take drugs or you do patch up work to try to fix whatever's going on without getting to the core of the issue. And that's the cycle. I get allergies every year, or I'm sick 2-3 times a year, and that's normal, or whatever it is. Well, no, that's actually not normal. I don't want you to believe that. And then being proactive and intentional actually really is you make health your priority. You get in healthy communities that's going to foster a sense of accountability that we have in our groups that is going to help you stay on that path of health, that pendulum of success. Resolve the issues by going to the core, okay, of what the cause is and not trying to do treatment. We do prevention. And then we work together as a team to maintain really premier health. So I want you to practice informed decision-making. And what does it look like? Again, obtain and analyze unbiased information. Stop believing the hype. Again, my dad says, believe half of what you see, none of what you hear, or none of what you hear, half of what you see. I don't know which way it is, whatever way it is. Just be very leery. In the Bible, they say these Bereans who do their work, they do their homework, they do their research before they start believing anything. Well, become like a Berean and start doing your own research, independent research that's not biased. And then have that, again, collaborative approach with your doctors. You inform your doctor of your choices. You're not being dictated to. And then you come to an agreement on what's going to best serve you. I'm going to go into some really quick, easy ways that I do life that I think, works. And I have a lot of great recipes that I would love to share with you. But making smoothies is an easy way to get nutrition into your body. There are so many different, reasons, and people say, oh, drinking your calories isn't great and all this other, it's convoluted. Y'all stop trying to really make this more difficult of a journey than it needs to be, just keep it simple. And smoothies are a really simple, convenient, affordable way to get the nutrition into your body as opposed to starving yourself. And then we love salad in a jar parties. We love salad jar parties. They're amazing. We grow our own food. You're going to see that in a slide, but this is the way to how to do the healthy. In an amazing community of people, you get together, you all bring the toppings and you go around, stack these jars, meal prepping for the week, and it is phenomenal. We should be doing this around the world. We do healthy ice cream. Now, believe it or not, and I have actually updated that some of those, well, one of the ingredients. We use dates now instead of the cream, but yes, that actually makes some amazing healthy ice cream, guilt-free, and you feel good about it. And it tastes delicious, that I promise you. Our tower gardens growing aeroponically. I grow year round, inside and outside, and I'm in control of my food source. I love it. I grow, everything above ground, which is an amazing process. And, our tower gardens grow faster and they taste so much fresher. And it's amazing just watching God's creation unfold in front of you. And we really work with these tower gardens and school systems and everything, teaching the kids how to grow at an earlier age. So here's the quality of life issues. Everyone's going to die, but how you look and feel for your last 20 to 50 years depends on the lifestyle and the vitamin and minerals you take throughout your entire life. And those vitamin and minerals come from whole food, real food. So can you believe that these two women are the exact same age? Which life are you actually designing? So diet is completely under your control. You cannot always control the other determinants of your health, such as the air you breathe, the noise you hear, the emotions around you. Isn't it a shame to squander such a good opportunity? And I am a firm believer that the best example that you can give your children is the gift of good health. I will tell you that you set your child up for success in the classroom, on the sports and athletic fields, just in life in general. When they leave your home, they're making better choices. So here's what we do, Premarital and Wellness Consulting, where we believe, again, everyone deserves to make an informed decision. We do all of these things, okay? Corporate coaching and training and counseling. I am a professional counselor by trade. We do seminars, workshops, and amazing retreats. There's educational plant-based meals that if you were local, we were doing those monthly, and those are amazing. You saw the sound of jar parties, meal prepping, teaching people how to do, what to do, healthy living parties, ice cream parties, tower garden parties. You're going to get access to a personal health assessment. There's a getting started class, pantry clean out. Believe it or not, we do those. Shopping trips. And I love the Devoted Bodies Bible study. It's a very powerful, in-depth study talking about the cure of our temple. So I really do believe that this is the place where consumers and practitioners meet for collaborative, evidence-based discussion leading to informed decisions about diet, health, and medical care. So here's how you get started. I want you to text Successfest 21 to 757-538 7288. Okay, again, text Successfest 21 to 757-538 7288, and that's going to give you your next steps of what you need to do. I would love for you to schedule a 20-minute consultation with me to see where you're at and how we can actually help you. And then you're going to join the Live You Deserve Accountability Facebook group. And I'm going to challenge you to start today. It's never too late to become what you want to do in life. And here's what to expect. Of course, it's an amazing, non-evasive, but evasive personal health assessment. It's going to really reframe your brain. You're going to get a one-on-one jumpstart discovery session with me, access to the accountability group, a 4-week accountability game, which is very powerful. Oh my goodness, so much success comes out of that. We have an educational video library with so much resources and knowledge, and then also workbooks. So in ending, I want to tell you, I love the principles in the Bible. I do. I wish above all things that you prosper, be in health, even as your soul prosper. That's what God said. I say God is love. I say love God, love others, and life is going to start you in the driver's seat of your health to live the life that you deserve. So again, we truly do believe you deserve to make an informed decision. I'm Beverly Grandison, Premier Health and Wellness Consulting. Check us out online, and our website's there, premierhealthwellness.com. And again, thank you so much for joining us. I look forward to taking a deeper dive with you in our follow-on workshops and sessions, and looking forward to even that amazing retreat that you're going to just enjoy beyond measure. So contact me, and thank you again for joining. So here I am. And if you stayed with me the whole time, kudos. And hopefully you learned so much that you're ready to get started on this journey to live the life that you deserve. And trust me, it is very possible. So thank you again. Have a good day.